Buenos días a toda mi gente de Nueva Armenia, ¿cómo estamos hoy? Aquí nomás me quería presentar, ya llevo más de un mes en esta caminata y hoy voy a cumplir los 482 kilómetros, que son 300 millas aquí en Gringolandia. Nomás les quería enseñar este río, qué chulada, pero nada como el río que tenemos nosotros, va. All right. Day 30 something. Beautiful night. Spent down under this bridge. What is it with me and spending time under the bridge, huh? I must be a troll. And that was the campsite next to this beautiful river or creek. And yeah, easy 9 miles today. I was hurting yesterday. It's really tight throughout the night. I was kind of concerned how I'd be feeling this morning, but my body's amazing. As soon as it knows it's showtime, like, man, I'm ready to go like a pistol. More so motivated that it's only 9 miles today, and I'm gonna get to soak in delicious natural hot spring, which my body and my muscles are fiending for it. Beautiful day, so let's get to it. Spartans, what is our profession? It may look backwards, but that says 300. It's hard to put into perspective. Just from day one, fatigue and all the doubts and the uncertainties and the anxiety. And I promise you, if you're still waiting for your turn to come, it's normal, even the day of. But trust and believe in the process. And believe me when I say every day, the anxiety will melt less and less and less. You'll get stronger and stronger. Your confidence will grow. And you'll trust yourself more, which is one of the things I wanted, was to trust my instincts more. And yeah, I'm not saying I'm going to make it all the way, but I think it's safe to say I'm feeling pretty strong in here, which is a little bit more important because the mind leads, the body follows. So let's go celebrate with a good old hot soak. Man, that looks so cool. Woo! All right. It was moderate, a lot more uphills than I anticipated, but 9 miles in the books. I don't know what time it is, but it's definitely before noon. And I wanted to get some recording in now because right down there is a deep creek, the hot springs. So this is our detour, to go right to it. And yeah, I basically want to get some recording in now before I get down there. There might be a few naked blue jays down there, and can't be recording that. Privacy and all that good stuff. What happens in Deep Creek stays in Deep Creek, except for some fecal bacteria that's in this water, but I think that's old news. Either way, they say don't dunk your head under the water here, so maybe for other reasons. Anyway, it's time to chill. Another Nero in the books. Burgers right here.
Yeah, the fucking fire, we need to redo it because it was taking 10 years to make one.
Okay, so day 3. I gotta get out of this vortex, but oh man, I don't know if y'all can see the steam coming out of the water. And I'm gonna show you all something that you probably haven't seen on other vlogs, and that is this delicious, natural, hot water spigot straight from the earth source. Oh, so warm on the feet. So this water is completely clean and full of minerals. I've been drinking it. I was drinking upstream filtered water for a minute. It still had that river water taste to it, but this water right here is my I'm gonna make coffee right here. I mean, it's warm enough to where you can make a nice little warm cup of coffee, and you don't have to burn up your own fuel. So it's a win-win. All right, so it's time to move on from this place. I found myself dragging my feet this morning to leave because, I mean, it's just from the sounds of this, and this is warm water, by the way, coming straight from underground there. After 300 miles and being able to chili dip your achy body and then have it soothed out by the multiple temperature pools of warm water they have here, I honestly witnessed a few hikers just hike right through this place and not even wet their feet. And then a few people stayed for a bit and then carried on to some burger place detour that's 7 miles ahead, which we will be hitting still. And we got to thoroughly enjoy this place because, quite honestly, like I said earlier, I found it funny. I was dragging my feet to leave. Like, I don't live, a couple of hours from here, and I will definitely be back. Some of the people I've even encountered here have been amazing. Shout out to Pedro. He's just been an extended stay around here, and he's a very modest dude. And out of nowhere last night we had some skewers with shrimp on it and a Pepsi. Like, I was not expecting that at this place at all. Everybody's thinking about McDonald's, and last night we had a little spot to ourselves, some good music, and very awesome vibe. But today we carry on to the burger place and see where we end up. And this is the dam that you'll be crossing once you leave the desert hot springs. I think it was like 4-something miles. And not sure if it was the altitude, time spent in altitude in the snow, but from Big Bear to down here has been pretty chill. And unless our legs are firmly developing, which after 300 miles, I'm sure that's the case, we are fucking killing it. Oh yeah, and we gotta give daps to the PCT sign. Motivation and not getting lost. So now, just one more little mile. I'm gonna grab some burgers and a cold ass drink. DF, water saves. You know who that was?
Who?
Remember Rhett? The dude with his dad that they were hiking?
I think so.
The dude that was like, oh man, I should have told him how far they were going. Dad?
Oh, yeah.
By the bridge, yeah, so they ended up camping under the bridge too. And well, they were gonna pass it, like they were gonna take off, and then they came back after blessings, and they're all like, oh, you know, can we camp here? And you know, like, yeah, you know, made room for them. And they didn't have any water. They had miscalculated the mileage too, but they didn't have a purifier.
Yeah.
So, you know, I like, dude, here. All right, so to put a little bit of context into the last clip, we had ran into these two gentlemen out on our way down from Big Bear to the hot springs, and I noticed that one of the gentlemen was kind of overlooking his map, and something had told me like, hey, you know, maybe you should just check, see if they need some help, like double checking mileage or something like that. But I quickly dismissed it because I made that assumption like, well, he has a paper map, so he must know what he's doing. And we carried on. We kind of leapfrogged a little bit on the trail and eventually got to the hot springs where I stayed at, where you saw me camp on the last video. And a few hours later, those same two passed by, went over the bridge, greeted them, and I was surprised that they carried on because I didn't know of too many campsites between there and the actual hot springs. And a few minutes after that, they came back, came down towards where I was at and asked if they could camp out. And since they were cowboy camping, it doesn't require a lot of space, so I was like, yeah, sure, camp out. They asked if we had any water. I guess he had miscalculated the mileage. He had water for a 35 mile, I believe it was, and it turned out to be 45 or 50 or something like that. He had undershot his calculation. And you know, again, it was no big deal. We all have water filtration systems and bladders, so, and I had a river right behind us, so it, you know, it was nothing. We had some conversation, talked about his dad. Man, his dad lived like an awesome, adventurous life. And we camped morning, broke down camp, talked a little bit more, and thanked me for the water. I had given him some electrolytes because, as you know, you can drink water, but it doesn't replace the minerals and the salts that we put out when we sweat. So I'm glad they took the LiQWYD IV and the water, told them to camel up and take some more water in the morning, and we were on our way. Motivated by the hot springs, I jogged, ran, and walked there, and I got there pretty quick. And a few hours later, they finally caught up and passed by. They were only going to the trailhead, so at that point they needed 5-7 more miles, I forget. But I saw them and I waved them over, and at first they were kind of just like going to just carry on, but I'm glad they decided to take a break, came into where I was at, you know, took a little breather, gave them some more water, had some more chit chat, and they were on their way. I stayed there, and he's, you know, again, thanked me again and said that he would leave me a little trail magic at one of the trailheads, and kind of figured, all right, he'd leave a mark for me to find it. So come being, you know, backtracking to that last clip of walking onto that DF water saves, I was very grateful again for the trail magic gift that you left. I think I'll leave that just for between him and I and the people that were there to witness it. But yeah, thank you again, Rhett, man. Appreciate you. Turned out that he lived in the area and made custom-made sandals, which is the ones that I'm rocking now. I love them, comfortable. Got rid of my foamy sandals, which were actually the first donation on the hiker box at the Joshua Inn. Very cool lady there that runs it, Erica. She's awesome. It looks like she's gonna develop something really cool for thru hikers in the future. So again, you know, he came over from his house to hook us up and gave us some, hooked us up with some sandals, and after that, you know, thanked each other again. He thanked me, I thanked him, and we carried on. And soonly after, I got that text that you see, and I was just like, wow, you know. I thank the trail for allowing me to use me as a tool to help these people. You know, just goes to show you that just always watch out for people, and if something in your head is going off, you know, listen to that voice and act on it, because you just never know what might develop from that. As you see on the text, after he left, I guess his father was admitted to the ER, severe dehydration and the kidney failure. And you know, again, if it wasn't for the simple water that you would think it was no big deal to help out with, how more extensive his father's situation would have been. You know, goes to show you that the smallest pebble can make the largest ripples in the water. So, you know, again, never be afraid to speak up, act on it, ask if people need help on trail, because not everybody is as prepared as you. You know, even us through hikers, as far as I'm concerned, these first 300 may seem like a long walk, but it still feels like the introduction class to all of this through hiking. Mistakes were made, overcalculation with food. Even with the app, I've messed up calculating and judging distance, you know, and it goes to show you that anybody can mess up. So if you encounter somebody that might be less prepared than you, don't be condescending. You know, always have an open mind, and remember that one day you didn't know what the hell you were doing when you got on trail. So this goes to show you, you know.
Thank you guys. See you on the other side. I think.
Okay, so we got our first sunset time. Just leaving the Joshua Inn bar. Got a ride by the bartender, Mimi. Thank you again for doing what some other people wouldn't do, and we appreciate you for that. And now we got these beautiful views and that sunset. So now the question is tonight the night of the Coyotes? So as they say, moon's out, goons out. Tonight is the official, inauguration of Los Coyotes and our first night hike. Got a few miles, well, like 2 now, after a bit. Feeling great, juiced up, sandals, first day doing some sandal hiking. So far I dig it, so thanks for the Kiwi sandals. These shits is amazing. And yeah, I don't know, but today we've smashed these miles and feel fucking great. So I blame it on the time spent in elevation and snow now that we're at lower elevation and it's generally flat-ish. We are killing it miles wise. We've already passed a few people that called it a day, but I don't know what it was about today. We felt extra inspired to walk into the night like the Coyotes and get to Silver Lake, post up for the night, and it should be an easy 24 McDonald's if we wish to tomorrow, or whenever we feel like getting there.